Hi guys, this is the Vento 1.6 petrol automatic. The oil sump is leaking, so I will try, because I really don't know if I'll pull it off, but I'll try and reseal the oil sump after taking it off. So the first step is to remove this wheel and then remove this plastic fender here. And then there are a few nuts underneath the car that need to be removed. So first things first, I am going to remove the wheel, and like I emphasize in all my videos, safety is of uttermost importance. You are not doing this work because you are saving a few bucks, because you are doing it because you like doing it and you can do it. And as you can see, I've invested a lot of money in safety. I've got this jack stand to complement the jack. Don't do this work on a surface that's not firm. So don't do it on the sand or on what is it called, on a surface that's not firm. So don't do it on the sand. So this is a Torx 25, which is required to remove these screws. What I basically did is I had WD-40 and brake cleaner. I sprayed it along the edges of this oil sump and then waited for a while. After waiting for some time, what I did is, I took a cloth and whacked this oil sump one or two places, and this oil sump was out. Now we just have to remove it. Remember, take this precaution. There is an oil sieve in this side of the sump. So lower the oil sump and then remove it out gently. I have removed the oil sump. Now the next thing is to scrape off all the old gasket from here. Clean it, clean both the surfaces, even the surface which mates on top of the engine, and then put this back. I'm cleaning the oil sump with a brake cleaner. It is good to use a brake cleaner or WD-40 or isopropyl alcohol to get rid of the old gasket. The liquid gasket sets in about 10 minutes, so I have to be a little fast. So this process actually took me longer than I thought, so I'm doing this after a couple of days. Now that I'm free, I'm picking it up again. So I've cleaned the mating surface of the oil sump, as you can see. I cleaned it with soap, water, and then with brake cleaner as well. Wiped it clean, dried it. Now I'm going to apply this liquid gasket. Liquid gasket is used in this oil sump primarily because these two mating surfaces have, although they look very smooth to the eye, but they have peaks and valleys. They have microscopic holes. This surface and the upper mating surface of the body, they also have peaks and valleys and microscopic holes. What this liquid gasket does is it fills up those microscopic holes, peaks and valleys, and gives it a good seal. Thermal properties, it is resistant till it's 260 degrees, I believe. And thermoplastic properties of this gasket ensures that if there is slight movement between the two surfaces during the functioning of the car, it ensures that the seal remains intact. So this is the why liquid gasket is being used. The other thing we need to keep in mind is we don't need to go crazy applying this, because if we put a lot of liquid gasket here and when the mating surface comes along here, this liquid gasket will tend to squeeze inwards from this end and from the upper end. And if this liquid gasket breaks and falls into the oil sump, it could clog up your oil intake, reducing the oil pressure and creating problems you don't want to face in the future. A thin film is enough, and this is how we go about it. Like this. This is the flow we will, and a slight maybe around the holes. And ensure this surface is absolutely clean before you start this process. So I'm going to use this brake cleaner once more just before I start, so that there is no oil residue before applying. So this should be okay. Leave it to dry. Until then, I will clean the upper surface. Just before I apply this sump, I am going to ensure that this upper surface is also clean. So I will just take some brake fluid cleaner and clean this surface. We can't have any oil residue on this surface. I will now be applying the liquid gasket to this sump. If I can find the bloody thing. I'll puncture this, open it, We have to do it in one motion, and we don't have to go crazy about it. So we can start. As you can see, just a thin layer will do. I try to put as thin a layer as possible so that it mates properly. I have removed all the 20 nuts from the oil sump. This is a hex 5, by the way, and I first washed them in some soapy water to remove the oil residue, and then after drying them, soaked them in isopropyl alcohol, and then got rid of the old gasket that was still clinging on to these nuts. I'm now putting back this in. Just ensure that you don't touch any surface while you are putting the sump back in, because if you touch any surface, you are going to ruin everything. And I just need to align the holes, and I should be okay. So this was a task I shouldn't have undertaken. It has taken me the whole day. Two of the nuts in the oil sump were in a very tight place, and it was very difficult to get them out and put them on back. The problem with the liquid gasket is it starts setting in 10 minutes, and then it takes, the whole curing process takes about 24 hours. So within those few 10 minutes, you have to ensure that your nuts are in place and you've tightened everything, otherwise it becomes quite sticky and the process becomes very difficult after that. But anyway, I managed to put the sump back on. I will put the engine oil tomorrow after 24 hours and then run, and hopefully our task is done. For today, I'll just put on the tire, and then the rest of the fenders and stuff, this fender here, I will do this when I get time again. So thank you very much for watching the video, and like I said in the beginning, safety is of paramount importance. You can see two jack stands here, a jack and a tire. You are not doing this work because you're saving some money. You are doing this work because you like to do it, and you can do it. So yeah, so take care while doing all this stuff, and also analyze whether you will be able to accomplish the task, because like I said, I got stuck with those two nuts towards the flywheel side. So it took a lot of time just trying to get them in place, but it was okay. The experience is fine. I think now change oil sumps pretty easily, especially the Vento ones, now that I have some experience about it. Anyway, thank you for watching the video.